This week, we try Zaya rum, and we talk about a little town called Tarpon Springs. They have sponge docks there and a really cool Greek vibe. So come along and let's enjoy this ride. Welcome back, everyone. We are here at the RumJohn bar and joined again by Zoom by Mike. Mike up in Virginia. How are you doing?
Hello, John.
Doing
well, brother.
Oh, not too bad. It was a little warm today. We went up north of us to a place called Tarpon Springs, sir, and it's a really cool little Greek. I don't want to call it a village. I guess a town north of here. And
it's more than 1,500 people. It's a town. If it's less than 1,500 people, it's a village.
Ooh, yeah, I suppose in the winter time it's a city, and in the fall, in the spring when everybody leaves, it probably goes back to it. Yeah,
I'm just saying because I grew up in a village. The village people were phenomenal.
Yeah, it was. It's a really cool town in Florida. It's got a huge Greek vibe. Like you can get all kinds of pastries and meats and cheeses, all kinds of cheeses. It's really kind of cool. But there's like these little restaurants and stuff like that you go into, and you really feel like you're like, oh wow, this is what like a little town in Greece would feel like.
Huh.
And it's really kind of known for it.
Was Zorba there?
Yeah.
Okay. Was everybody running through the streets singing Mamma Mia?
Right. No, unfortunately not.
Not true Greek. Was everybody throwing dishes out the window and in fireplaces?
Right. Are you done with that plate? Just throw in the fireplace.
Tried that one night with Danielle on dinner. She got totally upset.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, this is a great dinner. Ah.
Well, I mean, you should eat it before, like you throw it in there and say it's a good dinner. I mean,
that's a good point.
But yeah, no, it's a cool town, and I strongly recommend if anybody's in the area, go check it out because it's, like I said, it's a Greek vibe, and it's known for sponges, for natural sponges. Actually, everything, if you can see above me here, everything above me came from that city. Yeah, most everything came from that city. The sponges up here and all the other that guy, I don't know if you can see him, but that's blowfish. They're known for going out and diving and harvesting local sponges, and they do it in a way to make sure that it is sustainable kind of effort. They don't go out and overdo it and kill it all.
So you're saying I would fit in there because I'm a natural sponge when it comes to alcohol?
Yes. I haven't tried alcohol in these, but I have tried just get your kitchen sponge versus I tried this guy here, this little one here, and a regular kitchen sponge. I tried a regular kitchen and that sponge there, and it was interesting to know or see that like these natural sponges will actually soak up way more water than a regular sponge. Or than I guess not a regular sponge, an artificial sponge. So that's what we did today. I mean, it was pretty good.
That's their livelihood. So, I mean, that's how they survive in eating all the different organisms that are within the water in order to survive, basically. So, yeah.
Right, yeah. Yeah, that's, I mean, it's pretty interesting. I've only actually gotten a sponge out of the water myself once, and it's not like this here where they're dry and you're like, oh cool, like you get them out of the water naturally and they're brown and disgusting and they look dirty and it was a pretty good day hanging out. It was the weird thing is up there, I think I told you or texted you that the tide was extremely high and the water, like the sponge docks are literally just like a tide wall. And then, the water and the boats are all lined up right there. Well, the water was so high that it was it was coming through the wall and then into the street. And yeah, I mean, it's just like, man, I've never seen that before. But it was very cool up there compared to down here. I know it's only like 20 miles away from where we're at, but here it is hot. It is hot and sticky. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm like, bleh. It's not quite as bad as it was when you were here, where like my my sweat wicking shirt was like, I can't handle this, and gave up. But it was pretty toasty today.
It was a toasty 58 degrees here today. When I went for my LASIK appointment this morning, I was like, I might want a jacket.
Oh, again, yes. So let's talk about that. You got LASIK. You're wearing glasses, but those are not like.
Oh, these are my readers.
Yep.
Yeah, these are my readers. These are my blue light readers, mind you. Yeah. So I went in for the final. Well, not the final, because every year I got to go back, but it was a 2 weeks post surgery, and. He pulls up the chart and he's like, can you read this? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I read it. And he's like, can you read this? And I don't care who you are. I don't care how good your vision is.
Yeah.
An H and an N look very similar from a distance.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Whether it's this way, it's this way. It looks very similar.
Yeah.
And so I started off and I said, O, and strike that. That's an H. That's an H. Backspace, delete, whiteout, something.
Yeah.
But he said, I'm seeing it 2015.
Oh, that's awesome.
For those that haven't had LASIK that are thinking about it, it is, as everyone tells you, right? Everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't know, because sliced bread's really good. But it is really good. John, I think you've had it done, right?
Yes, I did. I had it, it's got to be 15 years ago now. When they were just figuring it out, and, they were like basically taking,
you're making it sound like caveman tools right now.
Yeah, that is exactly what. Yeah, they just took rocks and they started bashing my eyes until my lens got right.
My doctor was Captain Caveman. And he kept saying, unga bunga, Captain Caveman.
Yes. I mean, yeah, they just took a screwdriver and a hammer and just hammered at my. No, it was not, I guess it was still kind of early stages. And, you'd actually kind of had blurry vision for a couple days, right?
Well, I wouldn't say it was blurry. It was more like.
Hazy.
Yeah, it was like I lived in LA.
Yeah. Like college days, hazy, that kind of thing. Party at the Moon Tower, y'all should come kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that's the perfect description. Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. Yep.
All right. Yeah. So, I mean, mine was more like, I guess what I would say cataracts would be like. And if I've never had cataracts, but I'm just, it was literally, I could see only like blurry shapes. It was pretty bad. It was, I could see shapes, and that's why they only did one eye at a time for me. I went in 1 week, they did this eye, and I probably called the doctor like 100 times going, oh my God, something's wrong. And he's like, you're fine, stop calling me.
So between you, John, and Mike, our friend, right? It's been a comparison of notes, and of course an Eagle One, right? It's been a comparison of notes because, I was driving home the other night from when we did the painting that I shared earlier with Danielle and Seth, right?
Yeah.
So I'm driving home, and as I see lights, the street lights down 95, which is kind of a weird thing anyways, but I was getting that halo, that burst effect.
Yeah.
And it was a little bit tripping me out.
Right.
And then I hear that, oh, no, that's kind of usual in your first couple of weeks.
I have bad, and I hope you don't get this, but I have bad night vision now. So at night, I have to have a nightlight or I will trip and break my leg off. Because it's literally like.
Real quick, let's talk about that. The nightlight is not necessarily because you can't see at night. It's because of the man in the closet. John, there's no man. There's no man. Okay.
But yeah, no. So it sucks. The guy in the closet won't leave, and so I'm just I want to make sure I don't trip over him when I'm on my way to the bathroom at night because I can't see anything. So, but all right. So what are we gonna do today? We're gonna try some rum and
what?
Yeah, shocker, right?
Wait. I thought we talked about something totally different this episode.
Yeah, no, I thought we were trying Kool-Aid. No strawberry Kool-Aid today. Okay.
No, I thought it was Tang. I thought we were doing Tang.
Yes, Tang. I'm sorry, I forgot, comrade. I forgot.
Yeah.
But no, we have here, and you have your bottle too. I'm gonna probably not pronounce this right. Zaya.
Yeah.
Zaya. I am going to admit this one and the one that we have already discussed to do on the next episode, which you guys will all have to come back and watch the next episode to see. I have never had either one of these.
Are you serious?
When we talked about it earlier about which rums we wanted to do, when you brought those up, I'm like, yeah, okay. Should I tell them I've never had that? Yeah, no, I've never had.
What?
Yep, never. So
that is insane. How is that possible?
It's never, because I'm backyard guys, and these are you're getting kind of to the premium stuff here. So I'm kind of like,
oh, I get it. You're still chewing on your toenails. Okay.
Right. Yes. Okay. But before, let's jump back here a second, right? Because before we get to the rum, we have to talk about what we're going to drink these in. Mike's wife, who is very...
It's precious. She is very, very precious. She watches these videos. We have to be careful.
She loves these videos. She's a great supporter. And on my doorstep, I found a rum tasting glass. And Mike has a rum tasting glass as well. And this glass, the idea behind this glass is the way that the silhouette and the dimple in the bottom.
I was going to call it a dimple, but go ahead.
Yeah. It's supposed to kind of give a better taste or give the aroma.
It's an aeration effect.
Yes.
Yeah. It's kind of in that idea of letting for the wine connoisseurs, letting the wine breathe. It's kind of giving the chance for the rum. I mean, really any alcohol, you got to give it a chance to breathe, to sample something else. That's why they always say with like whiskey and bourbon, you should always give it like a dollop of water and everything else, because you gotta release the flavors. So
yes, and one of these days, probably let's say when we get close to opening this guy up and trying this, you have to explain to me the stones that go along with the whiskey, because I'm like, these are pretty cool, but I don't get it. So we'll talk about that when we open
another video. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to open this up, ship you one, and then we'll do that.
I'm sorry, was that with a P at the end?
Yes, ship.
Okay.
As in,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So all right.
Sometimes because of the internet, we don't get full clarity. You know. So
do we want to taste this before we talk about what we're supposed to be? You want to do it that way?
Yeah. Let's do it that way.
All right.
So real quick, before we actually get into the tasting, so how I got turned on to this is that I have a friend of mine, and he's like, hey, have you ever had this? And I'm like, honestly, seriously, no, I've never had it. And so he's like, you got to try this. He put it in just a sampling glass, not a shot glass, but you know what I mean? Kind of like what I do with my tumblers, right?
Yeah.
And I tasted it and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really good. And I'm not trying to taint the tasting whatsoever. I said taint. And so he had legitimately about 6 bottles.
Whoa.
Because he had them shipped up directly from Puerto Rico.
Nice. Okay.
And so my bottle is nothing special. It's just shipped from a U.S. territory. So.
Okay, so this is a Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah. So it's so what they do is they do kind of like what we did with Westerhall Estates. Yeah. It is a blended, but it is their version of a blended.
Okay.
So I'm not going to talk about you know, the
Yes.
different things,
Flavors.
but it is a blended, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
So with that being said,
Yes, let's try these new glasses out.
halfway up the nipple.
All right. I feel like we're getting serious now.
Swill it. Pinky out, please. Pinky out. Thank you. I'm getting a lot more aroma than when we were doing the other shows. I wasn't getting. That is wow.
Ooh, that glass is great.
That is.
I'm
getting a whiff of like. Okay, so I'm cheating a little bit. I've got the notes over here on my left.
Okay.
Okay, but everything the notes are saying, I didn't look at them until after I did the first little swill, and it's exactly. I can pick up on it 100%.
Really? So I get like a honey.
Okay.
Oh man, I like a fruity, like it smells sweet to me. Let me just put it that way. It smells sweet to me.
All right.
I like the smell of it. I don't know if it's the glass now that I suddenly like.
Wow, that is. All right, ready? Bottoms up. Oh, yeah, cheater.
Ooh. Oh.
Oh, I see what it's talking about. Yeah.
Is it a oak barrel in there? Am I way off? I feel like I'm way off.
No. These glasses are magical. Damn you, woman, in your white magic. What else you get?
Drunk.
No, you said something sweet. Can you pin the flavor of sweetness?
Oh man.
You could almost, it hangs on the back of your tongue for a hot second.
You're going to say vanilla?
No. Okay, so vanilla, I think vanilla is pretty much a given, right?
Yeah. What is that? You're going to have to tell me, because I mean, I smell like a flowery bouquet in there
Caramel.
Too. Caramel. Oh, man. Yes. Now that you say that, I'm like, oh, it's right there.
Well, as soon as you said sweet, I was like, oh, he's going to say it. He's going to say it. He's going to say it. And, yeah.
And now that I know that, so this is a good way to do this, because now that I know that, that's all I smell is caramel. Sorry, caramel for you, Brit. But
caramel? Caramel.
Caramel or caramel?
Caramel.
What is the right way to say it?
Caramel.
Caramel?
Caramel?
I say caramel.
I say good.
I say, yes, please.
So it's a baked fruit, a spiced vanilla. So with a spiced vanilla, of course, it has other spices associated with it. It's a caramel. It is done in an oak barrel. That's why I started laughing, because thanks to little one sitting off to your right, we pick up on oak barrels now pretty well.
Oh yeah.
And then there is, only because of the cask that they have it in, the smoke. If you let it hang on the back of your tongue long enough, you get that smoke.
Oh yeah.
So let it hang just for a sec.
Well, all right, Mike. Let's hear about it. What else have we got? That was pretty good. So it's a blend of rums then?
Yeah. So the entity that does, I say entity because it's really convoluted. Okay. Zaya's website is it's a great wealth of information when it has to concern their rum, but their history really lacks. It's here's the hints of notes you're going to hear from or taste from our rums.
Right.
Here are some great mixed drinks you can make with our rums.
So let me ask you. I mean, this is a pretty good sipping rum. I don't know that I would go buy this to mix a drink.
I could see it in a certain blended mixed drink. I don't know if I would do like a Coke and rum or a DC and rum or a zero and rum kind of thing with it.
No,
I don't know if I would, because you get
it's not like
the longer I have it on my tongue, and this is legit, the longer I have it on my tongue, I start to really get like a citrus. I don't know about you.
Yeah, that's the fruit that I kept saying. I taste the fruit.
It's like a citrusy. I can't ping if it's orange, if it's grapefruit. I can't tell, but it is a citrus kind of effect. But yeah, I mean, it was when I went to do my little bit of research, because of course, you know, for everybody on this channel, we try to do a little bit of research to hear and talk about the history.
Right.
And one of the places that we actually go is to the actual corporate website.
Right.
And for Zaya Grand Reserve, or sorry, Gran Reserva. So when I went there, I'm like, holy smokes, this is really lacking on the history of the family. I know you guys can see that I'm switching screens over to my left, because there is a plethora of websites that actually exist that talk about the history of the family.
Would you say
of the rum?
A plethora of websites for you to read? A plethora? A plethora. Do you have a plethora of sweaters?
Yeah,
you don't know what that's from. You should go figure out what that's from. Plethora. Go on. Sorry.
So it's interesting on how some of these families have formed these companies. Now, I will say that this rum is from Trinidad and Tobago,
yes,
as it's properly pronounced. They make sure that the blend of rums that they're receiving. Now, remember, Zaya is doing a blended rum in its own effect. Okay. So that bottle you're looking at right now, John.
Yep.
How old is that?
This says 16 years old.
That is actually probably 32. Let me explain. So when Zaya brings in their blended rums, the rums that they blend in are already aged up to 16 years.
So this is the minimum 16. Okay.
When Zaya blends the rum, then they do it for an additional amount of years. So you can buy a 12, you can do a 16, you can do, different types of blends that are aged in a cask. So,
excellent. Okay.
So it's interesting on how they actually do it, because Zaya, when I made the suggestion, Zaya is one of those that's really interesting. So they take it to like the next level.
Yeah, that is interesting. You know, we've kind of been, as we're going along with this, we've kind of been stumbling on a lot more of these that actually do not distill themselves, but yet go out and get aged and distilled rums from their places and blend them together.
Which is an essential what you're doing. Think about it for a second. With the mini cask over to your left, or your right. I mean, you're actually you're aging that barrel. You're getting it ready. You're going to introduce a rum, right?
Yeah.
It's not technically blended, but you're introducing a different aging mechanism into it.
Right.
So, yeah.
I mean, what I want to do is, after we pour it out or whatever, is get another one and rum in this one and get another one and start it over. You know, so they're all stagger them. You know what I mean?
Your evil experiment. Thank you, Dr. Evil.
That'll be excellent.
I've actually contemplated that whole thing with my side of the house.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do it, man. Yeah, that'd be fun. That's a pretty interesting way to do it, and we're starting to hear a lot more people doing it that way. It's not such a faux pas thing. It's kind of becoming one of those, I don't want to say standard, but it's definitely becoming, more common. But yeah, the glasses are a hit. Tell the missus, thank you 100%. This is
Of course.
exactly what we needed. With that,
I need to say, click like, subscribe, send to your friends, hit Facebook, hit all the social media. We're on there.
and we have a new website, rumjohn.com. Oh, yes. Everybody stay calm. It is a work in progress, but it is out there and you can access it. Go check it out. It's got the swag that we are, we have some new face masks. I ordered a bunch of face masks, so we have black or white face masks, whatever you want.
Oh, you don't have any Green Bay Packers face masks?
Negative
Okay.
Ghost Rider.
Okay.
We, not at this time.
Okay.
But yeah, check that out. Until then, sit back, relax, have a drink, and enjoy the ride. I know we will.
Love you, brother. The longer I have it on my tongue, and this is legit, the longer I have it on my tongue,